Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53, M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Clipchamp, and it's under the command of Biggest Dickus, and that's my NA account name. Game on. Well, yes, I'm back from the illness. Still not 100%, but I thought I'd try some easy replays to start with. Some of the ones which I've done myself and some from others. Well, the 8-inch howitzer mounted in a chassis belonging to an M47 pattern. And I've got a 900 Alpha with 52mm of pen. As with battles like this, I try to aim for the road going up to the lighthouse with the first shot, because there's nearly always somebody silly enough to try and get their way up there in a light tank and get absolutely hammered in the process. Our ELC Evan 90's moved into position, and an enemy black dog comes in. Rounds out. Well, I think he saw the ELC and he changed his mind and changed course just at the last moment, and that saved him from getting around right through his side from my 8-inch, and instead he only lost 170 hit points from splash. If he carried on that track, yeah, I think he probably would have been penetrated, and or my teammates would have finished him off. Okay, we've got an Iron Arty. Rounds out. Well, that one, I think it hit some of the stone supports there, the stone columns. It certainly didn't get anywhere near the Iron Arty. Standard reload for this Arty is 40.27 seconds. The reload time that I've got is about 32.06, I seem to remember. And the enemy is now capping. We can see they've got the black dog in there. And that Iron Arty rounds out. Well, that splashed him. 366 this time. That was much closer. Now, the good news is that the other Arty on my team is also an M53, M55, so we can lay down exactly the same firepower. On the enemy team, that's not the same. Unfortunately, the enemy team is actually handicapped. They've got a Batchat 155-55. I know some of you would say that's not a handicap, but trust me, it is when it comes to an M53, M55. We did briefly see an Object 283 there for a while, the new IT tank, the one that everyone likes to get, but I've had a request for help to fire on this E100, so I've marked him as target. I'm going to see if I can put a round into him. Rounds out. Yep, that one hit him on the side, just above the skirt and next to the turret. And I've picked up a whole bunch of stun assists off that one. Massive amount of stun assist. But the enemy is now capping again. Well, switch to the T110E4, but both targets disappeared. But there's one target that didn't disappear. It's a BZ-176, the 16cm heavy, with the rockets. Let's see if I can put a round into him. Rounds out. Well, it splashed him for 228 and gave him some track damage, but that's about it. Okay, T110E4. Oh, that was brutal. The T30 on our team, who's up in the sniper's nest, just took aim at that guy and blew him away with one side shot. I believe they've got a G-Saw up there as well. Okay, Object 283, he's now in sight. I'm almost loaded. So I'm going to see if I can put a round into him. Rounds out. Yep, definitely hit him. No idea how much damage I did, but it definitely hit. Now, they've only got one in the cap so far, and it's probably either the Iron Arty, the Black Dog, and, oh, what have we got here? This is a Death Star, the FB215B183. It's a tank destroyer. He's headed for the cap area. I think he's helping his teammates out, trying to put pressure on us. And we haven't really got any tanks near the cap at the moment. We do have those tank destroyers up in the nest. And that got a reset. 44 capture points reduced. They've got 3 in the cap, and it looks like I hit the Death Star as well, because he's stunned. I'm changing position. Oh, masses of stun assist. Huge amounts of stun assist off that shot alone. Now, the reason I've come back here is to actually improve the angle on the cap area, because it looks like my teammates are having difficulty trying to get resets. And if I can open the angle up, I can get the shots between those columns. Rounds out the Renegade. That's a reset, 23. And a huge chunk of stun assist off that one as well. And now we know where the Iron Arnie is. He was hiding behind that column. I'm not sure I would have been able to hit him from that column, but I probably would have stunned him, but not actually hit him unless I could get the round around the column into the back area. I'm going to see if I can do that. Rounds out. Well, it did get another reset, but I don't know who it actually resetted. It was probably the Black Dog again. Now, our poor little ELC M90, who's up on top of the lighthouse at the moment, he's having to fight off at the enemy Black Dog, who's decided to go up there. But thankfully, our G-Saw up in the sniper's nest took pity on the little ELC and wiped the Black Dog out. And my teammate in the other Arty just fired to the north part and didn't get a result, so I'll fire to the south part. Oh, that definitely got a result. 42 capture points reduced. And if you add that to the other ones, I think that's already over 100 capture points reduced on the game so far. Okay, well, the Death Star's looking worse for wear. He's only got 399 hit points. I could definitely splash him from that position. I might even be able to splash kill him. But I'm going to fire around the corner there because there's 2 tanks together. And if you can hit 2 tanks at the same time, you get 2 resets. And our teammates still can't get near the cap area. They're trying now. The G-Saw has left the sniper's nest. In fact, everyone has left the sniper's nest except the T-30. And are making their way in. This is where it's going to get pretty dicey. Almost reset. Almost reloaded, rather. Rounds out on the Renegade. It splashes him. The Death Star's gone. The G-Saw got him. And they've been almost reset back to the start. So we're holding our own at the moment with the enemy. Only 1 tank up, and oh, the Striv 1030 just got taken out by the Iron Arnie, who's not found 404. That's quite a good name, that one. Rounds out in the Iron Arnie, and he's out the game. He just gave me that angle that would enable me to get the shell over the top of the rubble into him and splash him. Okay, so it's just the Renegade. The Renegade's gone. That means we've got the cap area at the moment, and now I've got a T-103 to aim at. I'm almost loaded. I reckon I could put a shell through the side of a T-103. Rounds out. Well, somebody else did instead. So that didn't work out very well for me, but the enemy are now 2 down. But there is a problem. There's a T-30 at the other end of the Western Pass. An E-100 and a BZ-176, and we don't know where they are at the moment. That's a bit of a problem. They could be anywhere. There's the E-100. Okay, so we know where one of them is, and there he is. Okay, I've marked him as target. I'm loaded, ready to go. Just let it settle, please. Rounds out. Okay, I've got that one. Now, where is that BZ-176? He's not where we saw him the last time. can see the enemy Arty now is focusing on the cap area. And our ELC M90's decided to come down and now... Oh, he's found the BZ. Or BZ, I should say. Oh, that was a brutal kill. The little ELC died. I'm loaded. Rounds out. Oh! I just took out the BZ176. Well, I'm going to help my teammates now because there's only 4 enemies left. And oh, no, that wasn't very good. Our Superconch just died and he was killed by the T-30, which means the T-30 is closer than I thought he was. He might be in sight of our cap area. So I'm going to be leaving my teammates behind. I'm headed, or the other M53, M55, I should say, behind. I'm headed up to the cap area. I'm going to start capping and putting a bit of pressure on the enemy, allowing my tanks to go out there and find where the last enemies are. They found the SMV-CC67. He's up on the enemy spawn area. Looks like he may be an AFK as well. Now you may notice something odd about my ammo loadouts. And there goes the enemy SMV. Yes, unfortunately I put 4 armor piercing rounds into my ammo loadout a while back. And I did so with the intention of actually testing it on various heavies. The unfortunate thing was that I didn't change it back before this game, which now means that I've actually got 4 rounds I really can't use in this game. Unless, of course, I can see the side of a tank. Well, I know where the M53, M55 is. The Bat Chat is being attacked and has been killed by the G-Saw. That ubiquitous G-Saw was everywhere. And he's now gone hunting on the T-30, and I saw the T-30 coming up the donut and thought, well, I need to get behind cover now, because if he was to fire in this direction, then I would get the reset. The T-30's gone down to try and see him. Notice I've got a red line. I didn't spot that at the time I played the game. A red line like that means that if I'd fired right now, the shell would have hit the Jaeger directly in front, and it wouldn't have done any good to me at all. It probably wouldn't harm me, but it certainly wouldn't make any damage on the enemy. Okay, well, I can't get a shot on the T-30, so he's not up on the donut, so I might as well position myself to try and get a shot on the enemy M53, M55. It really doesn't matter if he gets a reset on me now, because our team are strong enough to take him out regardless afterwards. And the enemy T-30 is gone, so we're now just looking for that last enemy, the M53, M55. Oh, there's the tracer! Just came out from behind the bush, so I fired an armor-piercing round in after it, and no joy. But we can see that our teammate did manage to stun the M53, M55, and he valiantly tried to get a ram kill, but unfortunately he failed. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for biggest Dickus in the M53, M55. I managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, I got 8. And not surprisingly, I actually picked up a defender. I reset that cap enough times. I think I must have got at least 2 defenders out of that one. But it certainly was a great game. My win rate for the game was 3,634, which is Super Unicom standard. Let's have a look at team score and see where everyone is. Well, I didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to that G-Saw, who's very, very good indeed. 4,983 hit points to him. He picked up a high caliber. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be the 100 I took out. He got 3,832 hit points. And the third highest damage, well, that turned out to be the enemy T-30 with 2,804 hit points. I actually came 5th because I was after the T-30 on our own team, and I got 2,650 hit points of damage from that game, and of course the defender. When it came to kills, I actually got 2nd place in that one because the G-Saw managed to get 4 kills, I managed to get 3, and 2 kills went to the T-30 and the E4 on our team, and the E100, the Batchat 155-55, and the E4 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, I'm still in second place because the GeForce managed 1,651, which shows how good a game that was for him. 1,161 went to me, and 888 went to the ELC Ever 90, who met a rather gruesome end, but he did get a patrol duty during that game for being up on top of the hill, spotting everyone at great risk, because, yes, enemy were trying to come up and get him. And the M53, M55 on our team also managed to get a Confederate because he was hitting as many of the enemy as he could. In fact, he hit 9 and 0 in that game, and I don't think I was anywhere near that. So well done to him. I fired 17 rounds in the game, got 5 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations but 21 splash. Damage of 2,650 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 7 of the enemy, kill 3, so there's only a 4 difference there. So that other M53, M55, he was way ahead. 2,879 hit points of stun assist off 18 stuns. Well, I was fairly lucky because a lot of the tanks I was stunning were then getting hit by the tank destroyers. So that's where I picked up all that, and that's probably where the ace tanker came from. I got 50 capture points by sitting in the cap and 100 defense points. Well, probably about 200 defense points, but they'll only show 100. And I earned 37,660 credits from the game, 18,830 for completing holiday ops, and 56,490 credits altogether. After ammunition resupply, took away 24,380 credits profit. 1,161 base XP, times 2 for the first victory, 581 for completing holiday ops, and 2,903 experience points altogether. I really need to change my ammo layout. Yes, I have changed it by now. I've now got 4 extra HE rounds in my ammo magazine. I should have actually changed it after doing a test, but I just didn't, and unfortunately that cost me because I might have been able to splash that M53, M55 myself before my teammate fired his round in. I think he did get a huge chunk of the damage on that enemy Arty, but I was missed out on getting the chance of more damage myself. But it was a fun game, wasn't it? And it just goes to show, if Arty keeps pumping those shells into the cap area during a encounter game, they can actually pull off a victory for their team by keeping the enemy at bay, keeping them reset, so they have to do something else if they're going to pull out a win. And it certainly worked in the long run. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And let me tell you, it's very good to be back, even if I felt a bit ill over the past, well, more than 10 days actually. But it is very good to be back, and hopefully I will be producing as many videos for you as I can over the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching.